Alright, all you listeners to the madness, and especially you graveyard shift workers out there tonight, welcome back to Under the Radar. And I almost forgot to mention the whole car ride down to Atlantic City. Me and my sister were reminiscing about old video games that we played, and I told her once we got back to the hotel, you do realize I have a radio show and I've talked about just about every single video game we've ever played since we were kids, but I forgot to show her the footage and to show her her birthday present of the video game story we did for her last week. Maybe I'll email it to her. I don't know. Then again, she's busy with like 4 or 5 jobs, but we'll definitely get it to her in the future. But before we go into the future, folks, I think it's time for us to take out our left-handed scissors and cut out some very interesting newspaper clippings from this past weekend for another edition of Yesterday's News. And in our first yesterday's news story, for you fans out there who wanted to see Black Adam in action, or at least a teaser photo for Black Adam, you now have the chance. Cause it's been announced that in an Instagram post from The Rock himself, Black Adam will soar into theaters as of December 22nd of 2021. And it would be said by The Rock underneath that Instagram post, Black Adam is blessed by magic with the powers equal to Superman. But the difference is he doesn't toe the mark or walk the line. He's a rebellious, one-of-a-kind superhero who will always do what's right for the people, but does it in his own way. Truth and justice, the Black Adam way. And then it would say Black Adam, rated R, in theaters. Now, I'm just kidding with that last part, but everything that he said before that definitely was true, and would even show a cool picture of The Rock, an artist's rendition of The Rock dressed up as Black Adam, which is just as cool. And I can't wait to see how The Rock portrays Black Adam, because this would be the first time that The Rock would be in a superhero-like movie. Well, besides saving people from earthquakes, but the first time that he would be an actual hero with powers in a movie. Yeah, I think that's a better way to clarify it. Unless you count Doom, but then again, he wasn't a superhero in that. Well, before we go down that rabbit hole, folks, if you guys want to go ahead and check out this cool picture for yourselves, you can head on over to the Instagram page of one man only known as Dwayne Johnson. Or head on over to the website only known as consequencesofsound.net to check out the picture for yourselves. And in other yesterday's news, or more or less Slipknot cruise news. Yes, that's right, folks, it's been announced as of this week that Slipknot will be having their annual Knot Fest, this time on sea. Nice! And the ship cruise will start from Barcelona, Spain on August 10th and returning to port as of August 14th for Slipknot themselves to headline the said cruise with 2 sets aboard the said ship. And they would go on by saying, a voyage that will awaken your darkest senses. And the fact that the cruise will have pre-ticket sales starting as of December 5th, yeah, I think this might be one of the coolest cruises that you'll be able to experience this year. And, you know, for those who aren't paying attention, it seems as of late a whole bunch of rock and metal bands seem to go off onto the open waters, almost like what Death Clock did during an episode of Metalocalypse. And for those who are wondering out there, reservations for interior cabins are $11.50, ocean view cabins are $15.50, and balcony suites are $18.50, which will be available as of December 5th. But for those out there who want to sign up for the pre-sale of this said cruise, you can head on over to the website only known as consequencesofsound.net to check it out for yourselves. And alongside with it, you can head on over to the YouTube page known as Knotfest to check out the cool intro for this said cruise that is featured by the Slipknot clown. which I still think that's one of the coolest clown masks in heavy metal today. Probably one of the only ones. Could be wrong. And in other news, or more or less Jeopardy news, for you fans out there who wanted to see the top 3 Jeopardy contestants duke it out in a greatest of all time matchup, well, I have some exciting news for you, because it's been announced as of this week that not only Ken Jennings, James Hellitzer, and of course Brad Rutter is all going to be competing against each other in a show that is going to be called Jeopardy, the greatest of all time. And for those who don't know who these Jeopardy contestants are, Rutter, of course, being the man who earned the most money in Jeopardy history at $4.6 million, Jennings, who still holds the record of the most consecutive wins in Jeopardy history at 74, and of course, Hellitzer, who earned $2.4 million, but at the same time is still the record holder for being the man who earned the most amount of money in one single game of Jeopardy at $131,127, which is extremely impressive and a record that is still yet to be broken as of today. And in my opinion, I can't wait to see all 3 of these eggheads duke it out and see who comes out on top. And if you want my guess of who I think is gonna win, I'm gonna put my money on Ken Jennings. And if you think it's silly for somebody to bet on people to win in Jeopardy, yeah, they did it a lot when Ken Jennings was a part of that whole summer when he was a part of Jeopardy, just winning back to back and seeing who was going to be the one who beat him. So I got a feeling he has high Vegas odds for this show. And for those out there who's wondering when this show will take place, the tournament will start as of Tuesday, January 7th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on ABC. And with that little announcement out of the way, and for those who want further updates of this said tournament, you can head on over to the Twitter page of one man only known as ABC Network to check it out for yourselves. Or on the Twitter page of Alex Trebek. You can get it from either way. And with that said, folks, wraps it up for another midweek edition of Yesterday's News. And I guess with that said, we might as well head back to the music, and when we return, we'll be back with more Cobalt madness that you can shake a stick at right after this. So don't go watching those infomercials just yet, folks, and stay tuned.